In the small town of Bélmez de la Moraleda, located in southern Spain, an extraordinary phenomenon captured the attention of both locals and international audiences alike. Known as the Bélmez Faces, this mysterious occurrence involved ghostly faces appearing on the concrete floor of a family home, provoking a blend of fear, fascination, and skepticism. Over the decades, this eerie tale has become one of the most famous and controversial paranormal mysteries of the 20th century. The picturesque Mediterranean town of Bélmez de la Moraleda is home to a wealth of historical buildings and artifacts, including a bountiful olive oil industry. In 1971, the quiet life of the Pereira family, living at Calle Real 5, was forever changed. The story began when Maria Gomez Pereira, the matriarch of the family, noticed a strange stain on her kitchen floor. Assuming it was merely a spill, she attempted to clean it using standard household cleaners. However, her efforts were in vain. The stain remained stubbornly in place. The next day, to her horror, the stain had taken on the distinct appearance of a face, a disturbing image that seemed to be staring back at her. As panic set in, Maria's husband, Juan Pereira, took drastic measures. He ripped up the concrete floor with a pickaxe, trying to destroy the face in the process. Despite their efforts to erase the image, the family's attempts were futile. Even after laying fresh concrete over the affected area, a new face appeared in the exact spot just days later. This bewildering phenomenon suggested something more than a mere coincidence. It ignited the family's belief that they were experiencing an encounter with the supernatural. As the weeks passed, the Bélmez faces multiplied, and the family reported seeing different faces, all displaying different expressions. Some appeared serene, while others seemed to scream in terror. This unsettling array of emotions heightened the family's anxiety. They felt a mix of fear and curiosity about what these faces represented, as well as whether they were indeed manifestations of spirits trying to communicate with them. The Bélmez Faces quickly became a sensational topic in local and international media. News reports, documentaries, and investigations surged, bringing the Pereira family's story to a global audience. Some hailed the phenomenon as a genuine manifestation of the supernatural. Others dismissed it as an elaborate hoax or a case of pareidolia, the human tendency to perceive familiar patterns such as faces in random stimuli. Despite the skepticism, public fascination with the Bélmez Faces led to increased visits to the house, establishing it as an unintentional tourist attraction. With the phenomena gaining significant attention, the mayor of Bélmez, José Antonio Rodríguez, decided to take action. Understanding the impact of the story on the town's reputation, he arranged for a formal investigation of the mysterious faces. The Pereira family agreed to cooperate, hoping that an examination of the house could provide clarity and perhaps bring peace to their disconcerting situation. The investigation involved extensive research and excavation of the kitchen floor, where the faces consistently appeared. This excavation was pivotal, as it aimed to determine whether there were any underlying causes for the spectral manifestations. During the excavation, investigators made a shocking discovery. The house had been built atop a graveyard. Investigators unearthed several skeletons, many of them decapitated, suggesting they experienced a violent death. This finding fueled speculation about the origins of the Bélmez Faces, with many theorizing that the spirits of the deceased were somehow reaching out from beyond the grave. Archaeologists and forensic experts were brought in to analyze the remains. They concluded that the skeletons dated back to the 13th century, a time shrouded in mystery with little historical documentation regarding the individuals buried there. The local community was stunned. The revelation added a chilling context to the ongoing manifestations in the Pereira home. Following the excavation, a local cemetery reburied the remains, and the Pereira family laid fresh concrete in an attempt to dispel the haunting phenomena. However, this attempt would prove to be ineffective. The faces reappeared, continuing the mystery. The ongoing presence of the faces led some to consider supernatural explanations. Paranormal enthusiasts posited that the faces might be the result of spiritual energy released from the skeletons beneath the floor. Thoughtography, a concept suggesting that individuals can project images through psychic energy, was discussed in relation to Maria. Some claimed that she had a sensitivity to the paranormal that allowed her to channel the faces onto the floor. Another notable case involving thoughtography is that of Ted Sirios, a man from Chicago who claimed to have the ability to project images onto photographic film using only his mind. In the 1960s, Sirios underwent numerous tests where researchers reported seeing clear images appear on film when he focused intensely on a specific subject. This phenomenon captured the attention of the public and researchers alike, raising questions about the limits of human consciousness and the potential for psychic abilities. The Bélmez Faces case is different from Ted's in that it involved physical manifestations appearing directly on a concrete floor rather than through photographic means, suggesting a more tangible form of paranormal activity. Investigators reported several other paranormal occurrences within the Pereira house, including strange noises, objects moving without explanation, and an overall sense of unease. Eyewitness accounts describe an atmosphere charged with supernatural energy, further fueling the belief that the Bélmez Faces were not mere coincidences or hoaxes, but genuine manifestations of the supernatural. While many were captivated by the Bélmez Faces, skepticism remained prevalent. Critics argued that the phenomenon could easily be explained as a hoax orchestrated by the Pereira family. Detractors suggested that Maria and her family may have been motivated by financial gain, using the intrigue surrounding the faces to attract tourists and media attention. Some investigators hypothesized that the faces were the result of a natural process, such as mold or deterioration of the concrete, which created the illusion of facial features. Accusations of manipulation even arose, with skeptics suggesting that the family might have been painting or etching the faces onto the floor themselves. Even with doubts swirling around, no solid proof ever came to light to back up the idea that it was all a hoax. The debate remained heated, with supporters arguing that the faces kept showing up even after Maria passed away, reinforcing their belief in the phenomenon's authenticity. As the Bélmez Faces gained notoriety, researchers from universities and paranormal organizations collected samples and attempted to determine the cause of the phenomenon through rigorous scientific methods. Some studies concluded that the faces were indeed the result of pigmentation caused by natural processes, possibly involving mineral deposits in the concrete. Other research teams reported no traces of paint or artificial substances in the area where the faces appeared. Despite advancements in technology and scientific analysis, the Bélmez Faces remained undetermined. The lack of consensus among researchers only deepened the mystery. Over the years, the Bélmez Faces have become ingrained in local folklore and paranormal history. The story has been referenced in books, documentaries, and television programs dedicated to investigating the supernatural. For many, the Bélmez Faces represent a quintessential example of the ongoing struggle between belief and skepticism. The phenomenon has also had a lasting impact on the local economy, transforming the Pereira home into a tourist destination. Visitors from around the world come to witness the faces and experience the eerie atmosphere of the House of Faces. Tour guides offer immersive experiences, sharing chilling tales of the faces that have appeared over the years. Many visitors describe a palpable sense of unease as they step inside, eager to glimpse the strange occurrences for themselves. The once quiet town of Bélmez de la Moraleda embraces the phenomenon to the fullest, hosting festivals and events that celebrate its mysterious history. Local businesses have thrived as tourists flock to the area, boosting the economy through sales of souvenirs, food, and guided tours. The Bélmez Faces stand as one of the most captivating and debated events in the realm of the paranormal. As the clash between believers and skeptics rages on, this tale highlights our deep-seated curiosity about the unknown. The allure of the Bélmez Faces encourages us to ponder the delicate boundary between reality and the supernatural, pushing us to reconsider our beliefs about what is truly possible.